What it do, YouTube? MJN for life here, back again, bringing you my first Mortal Kombat X video. This one's going to be a tutorial on Mileena, more specifically the Ethereal variation. I fell in love with this variation ever since the stream where they revealed it, and I knew that this was going to be one of my mains. So basically, this is not going to be a combo video. I'm not the best when it comes to combos, so you guys have to go elsewhere to get stuff like that. This is going to be more of a how to play Mileena video. So what I'm first going to do is explain what I've learned about the Mortal Kombat X game in general, then get into some more Mileena specifics. The first thing about Mortal Kombat X that you'll notice is that it's a very rush down heavy game. And the reason why is because there's no invincibility frames on wake-ups, meaning you can actually hit people out of their wake-ups. And I'll show you this live. So I'm going to pick a move, Sub-Zero's Ice Burst, and you're going to see when I knock him down, he's going to actually wake up out of it. So when I knock him down, I can actually knock him out of his move or prevent him from even doing it. So as you see here, he attempts to go for it. He's going to do it again, and he actually can't do it. So this is why you're going to see a lot of rush down in Mortal Kombat X, because moves don't have invincibility unless they're enhanced. So now I'm going to go for his enhanced Ice Burst move. As you're going to see here, now he's actually got armor on it. He's able to absorb the hit and then continue with his attack and knock me down and knock me out. So that's why you have to be very aware of your opponent's meter, because you actually can force them to burn their meter if you're aware of it. But also you have to be aware, because certain moves don't have invincibility even if they're enhanced, like Sub-Zero's EX Ice Ball does not have meter. As you see, he's glowing, but I'm still hitting him out of it. Another move that people like to use with Sub-Zero is his Ice Clone, his EX Ice Clone. Now, even though it does have armor, but with the Ice Clone, if they're too close to you, you get frozen. No, if they're too close to you, it actually won't work. So you'll see here, he does have armor, but because I'm too close to him, he can't actually wake up with his Ice Clone. So that's something also to note, is that you can pretty much rush down Sub-Zero if they don't know what their good wake up options. So another thing about this game is that there's no instant overheads. In like a game like Street Fighter, where you can normally jump and neutral jump, and as soon as you hit the attack button, you can actually get an overhead. In this game, you can actually overhead them. You can only overhead them with a neutral attack on the way down, as you see right there. On the way down is an overhead, but if I try to do an instant overhead by clicking it as soon as I jump, it actually whiffs and doesn't hit them, which is very weird, and it's very unfortunate for a character like Mileena, because her normal overhead isn't that great. So she would have benefited greatly from the instant overhead tool. And that's just something to keep in mind. Another thing is that grabs also whiff if they're ducking, unless they're blocking, which is another really strange thing. Because now you saw it whiff when she wasn't blocking. Now that he is blocking, it actually hits him. So this is not very relevant to the game, I guess, because if people are going to be ducking, they're most likely going to be blocking as well. But if for some reason somebody predicts you to go for a throw on wake up and they just duck without blocking, they can punish you. I don't see it happening, because you'd have to be godlike in order to do that. But it could happen, I suppose. Now what I'm going to do is get into Mileena's good normals and neutrals, and explain what I like to use. So first, her good she has some low pokes, pretty decent low pokes that are down 3 and down 4. They actually you can actually combo them into your ball roll. Well, actually, they don't actually combo into the ball roll, and that's something I'll show you guys in a later video. But another one of her good normal pokes is her forward B. It hits them from a very far distance, and you can actually hit confirm it into the ball. So it hits them from far away. Look how far you can hit them from. This is probably her best neutral poke, and you can hit confirm it, as I said, and then set up your Vortex and combo them from there. Her overhead is forward 3. It's not very good. A very slow startup. It actually can miss in certain situations if you mistime it. So right there, I timed it right. Now I'm going to show you what happens if you time it wrong. Actually, no, I can't even time it wrong. There we go. So it will actually go over their head if you don't do it right. But the good thing about it is that it is safe on block. So unlike some overheads that are unsafe, this one's actually safe. So if you guess wrong and they block your overhead, you actually you can't be punished for that. Then it takes you guys back to a neutral situation. Another one of her good combos. Another one of her good combo strings is going to be her what is it? Trying to think of it. 1 2 4. There we go. We have 1 2 4. I'm trying to get the number system now. There we go. 1 2 4. This is a decent combo string. You can combo it into any special, although they won't really hit. So the only reason why you would use this is actually to set up the psi teleport there. This isn't an actual Vortex setup though, but it does just kind of close the distance and allow you to continue pressuring them off this setup here. But this is not how you're going to set up your Vortex. I'll explain that later. Another one of her good strings is her. She can also combo out of her overhead. She has a forward 3 4 4, which is a low combo. This is a forward 3 4 3, which actually ends in the mid. I wish it ended in the overhead, but you can combo both of these into her ball roll. The timing is very strict, but you can the forward 3 4 3 actually isn't as strict. But if you do miss time it, you're going to get the ball roll on the second hit. On the forward 3 4 4, the timing is is much stricter, and you actually have to hit the ball roll input as soon as you see the second kick ending in order to get all 4 hits. So it can be difficult, but once you get the timing down, it's actually a really good string because it ends in a low, and people may not expect that. So you kind of got a high-low mix-up there. Another one of her really good strings is her 2 1 string, because it starts high. It's actually her fastest normal poke. And it actually goes high-low, so they can get opened up if they're not expecting it, and as you can see, you can go into the ball roll and then attempt to set up your Vortex from there. It's just probably her best neutral poke, honestly, and it's really fast, hits low, and it's special comboable, so it's just really good. Another string she has is a forward 1 2 and forward 1 2 down 4. And this is a mid into a low, so it's another decent string because any string that has a low in it is decent. Then she's got a forward 1 3 forward 1 4 3, and this is ends in an overhead. You can't combo off of it, but it does set up a mix-up situation, so it's actually pretty good. So you can mix up with the 2 strings themselves and go into the ball roll out of the first one, or you can go into a knock them down, go into a hard knockdown, and then set up a mix-up option from there. So it is a decent string. It's pretty good. You might want to use that as well. Another thing that she's got, now I'm going to go over her special moves really quickly, just briefly. She's got her side back forward 1, and then you can also do it in the air. Then she's got her ball roll back down 4, her best special, obviously hands down. Then she's got her side teleports, her back side teleport. She's also got her teleport kick down 3, and she's got the forward side teleport, as I said, the back side teleport, and the neutral side teleport, back forward 2, or forward back 2 and down 2 respectively. And another thing that I forgot, another really good combo string for her is her forward 2 3. This actually is what you're going to use to hit them after a juggle, but you have to be careful because the timing is a little bit tough to get, because you have to hit them on the way down. Right before they're about to hit the ground off of a overhead, as you see I did it right there. And if you do it too early, you're going to miss both. If you do it just too early, you're going to only hit one. If you do it just right, you're obviously going to hit both of them. So that's a really good string to remember too, because it's another way it's going to be the way to set up your Vortex. Now I'm going to explain to you her neutral game off of her raw teleport. So off the raw teleport, you kind of have these advantage frames. So off of it, you can actually go into your neutral her neutral low poke, her forward 4, and you can also get a throw mix up or a sweep mix up. So you can go into, as I said before, the forward 4, or you can go into like a Kara throw. The way you're going to do this is normally if you go for a throw, it's going to completely whip. I mean, you won't be able to do it. So what you have to do is you have to cancel your throw, and now you're going to be able to hit them with a throw. So it's kind of like a Kara throw. You have to, as soon as you run by pressing forward block button, and as soon as you actually hit the block button, hit the grab button immediately afterwards, and you can actually do like you can actually grab them from there. So the reason why I showed the whiff grab before is if you try to just forward dash into the grab, you're also going to whiff. So you have to run and do the grab. And I also show you that if they're ducking, if they're blocking, if they're expecting your forward 4, you can actually still grab them. off of the neutral jump kick. So there, the ball roll won't work. Your forward won't work. If you just try to dash forward, it won't work. So you're going to have to run and cancel that into a grab to do sort of like a MKX version of a car or throw, and you can hit them even if they're blocking, expecting you to be using your forward B poke. So that's a mini mix-up situation off of her teleport kick that you can do. Now I'm going to show you guys how to set up her Vortex. Now there's 3 ways to do that. There's an easy way, there's an intermediate way, and then there's a fairly challenging, difficult way. And so the easy way is just ball roll into neutral jump punch into her forward side teleport. Now there is a tricky part to this, because depending on when you do the forward side teleport, you actually can end up in front of them or behind them. To end up in front of them, you have to wait until they're about to hit the ground before you do the teleport. To end up behind them, you have to do the teleport immediately after you hit the neutral jump punch. Then you'll end up behind them, like so. However, if you wait a little bit and do it, then you're going to end up in front of them. Now, if this game was like Street Fighter, where you had to hold back to block, it would actually be this would actually be godlike, because you end up on either side and there's a mix-up from there. But since they have a block button, all you're going to do is confuse yourself. So I'd say decide whether you want to be in front or behind, and then practice that, because you're going to have to do opposite inputs. Now the intermediate way is to do the ball roll into a neutral jump punch into her forward 2-3, and then set up the teleport from there. So again, as I said before, you're going to have to get the timing down in order to get this to hit. But if you do, it's going to look like this, and then you can set up her Vortex from there. So again, this is the version that I personally like to use, just because it's fairly easy once you get it down, and you can kind of mindlessly do it, which is really what you want for a Vortex setup. You want it to be simple and mindless, and something that you can do over and over again without messing up. Now her advanced one involves using her back 3 into a cancel that into a teleport, cancel that teleport, kick into a side, and then going for the forward 4-2-3. Sorry. And this timing is very strict on it, but if you do it, you can actually miss, which is why I don't like to do it. But if you do it right, it will look like this. There's multiple different ways to mess up in this setup, which is why I personally like the intermediate setup, because if you do the back 1, you can actually you have to immediately cancel that into the side kick, or the teleport kick. You have to immediately cancel the teleport kick into a side. If you do it any of those a second too late, you're not going to be able to hit the forward forward 2-3, and that's why I don't like using it. Another thing is see there, I did the side too late in the forward 2-3 doesn't combo all the way, and then that actually just whiffs, and then that sets you up for a punish. So you have to, the timing is very specific. Now normally what you would do is go into a ball roll. Normally you go into a ball roll into a neutral jump punch, but then this you go to a ball roll into the back 3, and then with that you have to time that perfectly as well, because if you hit them, if you do it too early, you're gonna miss. And if you hit them on the way, just as they're about to fall, as I did there, then you can actually get it to work. But if you get it too late, like that, they're going to drop too quickly and you won't be able to do it. And if you do it too early, you're going to whiff again. So that's just why I don't like to do it, because everything has to be timed exactly right in order for you to get the combo, everything to combo fully. So that's why, in my opinion, it's best to just go with the back 2-3 immediately after the neutral jump punch into the setup. Because as I said before, you want your setup to be mindless and you want it to be easy. Keep in mind though, there is still a little bit of timing with it. But if you do it right, you'll get it every time. Just keep in mind, again, you have to hit them on the way down in order to do it, just like that. And if you as long as you get that down, it's actually pretty simple to do. So I mean, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is how you set up. In the next video, I'm gonna show you how to actually mix them up once they were in the Vortex, so to speak. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As I said before, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, all that other good stuff. And I'm just gonna put a little little thing actually here at the end of the video, show you guys how bad I am at trying to combo. All I'm gonna try and do is the back 3 into her X-ray after the ball roll, and that's I'm just gonna show you how I'm not the greatest at combos here, because it's gonna take me a while to do it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for part 2 where I explain what to do out of a Vortex. And that's it. I'm out of here. Deuces.